Hello. I know it's been a long one. We started off well pretty early doors, didn't we? Like kind of yesterday at 11:30 with the triathlon, which does feel like yesterday because it's been such a long day. But yeah, we've seen a lot of stuff has happened. Um, I can hear you. Yeah, maybe just take it out. Take it out. It's fine. Just use the normal. Um,
Right, hopefully you can hear me now. Sorry about that. My microphone's been all sorts of fun in the last few days.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
crazy day we've had.
yeah. Shall we start with the beginning of the day and start with the triathlon?
Yeah, a very good place
Just
to
because it was
start.
very it was it was exciting. It's been a weird. It's been a day of the mixed relays, isn't it? I didn't realise we had the mixed relay and the triathlon, the swimming and the athletics all on the same day.
Yeah.
Very well planned. I'm not sure it was actually planned.
So I'll just get the uh,
So,
thing
the
up.
sound is good now. Andrew's just said in the chat, so we can hear you.
Thank you for telling us. Yeah, it's been good to know. Um, yes, so with the triathlon, um, I think, yeah, we were hoping for British gold here, weren't we?
Yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, with the fact we had the silver medalist in the individual, and it was always going to be good having Johnny Brandy in there as well. So yeah, just Jeff Lynn once got us off to a really good start, and then Johnny Brandy took over and did another solid leg, and then it was down to George Taylor Brown and Alex Hughes to bring it home, and that's exactly what they did. They just gradually built their league, really, didn't they? There was no massive surprise or anything. It was just they just kind of kept it going, and yeah, it was
Yeah,
a nice, comfortable win in the end.
it was a solid team effort. Um, f- and yeah, great achievement for all of them. Great to see that Johnny Brownie's finally got an Olympic gold medal. It may not
Yes,
be an Olympic one, but it's more Olympic gold medals than either of us have.
yeah, exactly. He's gone from bronze to silver to gold, but he's done it. So yeah, happy for him, especially because that's going to be his last Olympics. And then we've obviously, yeah, it's just great for the rest of the team. Obviously, those two that got silvers and now got gold as well.
Yeah. Um, and then I mean, it was the USA that was causing perhaps the most problems for Britain, but then I suppose that Vincent Louis was really going for it on that
Mm.
final leg.
Yeah, and to be honest, it was one of those things where there were three teams in contention anyway, so we knew we were going to get a medal pretty much because the French were a little bit further back. But yeah, it was kind of a done deal in a way. It was nice. It was nice to watch something and enjoy it and not feel too nervous.
Yeah, yeah, not being sort of sat there thinking, "Oh, will we hold on? Will we hold on?" It was even though it was, I mean, 14 seconds. That's a reasonable margin, but it's not like a runaway or anything.
Yeah, no, it was comfortable but not incredible.
And then, shall we move on to the swimming?
Yeah, because that followed quite nicely with the mixed medley relay in that, which was the first time that was in the Olympics as well. And yeah, obviously Britain again had high hopes of being the mild favourites for this one. It was it
Yeah,
was yeah, it was always but the fact that we James Guy withdrew from the 100 fly, where he's a world medalist in that event. Anna Hopkin withdrew from the 53 when she's a probable finalist in that, mainly to rest for this. And again, that paid off.
yeah, there was lots of worthwhile sacrifices. And I think this was probably, I was going to say this was probably my favourite relay of the day, but I think it might actually be my highlight of the Olympics so far this year. It was so exciting, sort
Yeah,
of seeing, you know, the because they have to go in this specific medley order. It does put men against women on different legs, and that you've got women sort of doing their best to hold on and uh, sort of keep maintain the gaps, and you've got men chasing the
yeah,
women who, and I feel like they feel a sense of pride that they must get there. And with Caleb Dressel sort of being on that final length, we're thinking, oh, is he going to bring the USA into the medals? But no. Not at
Too
all.
far away. It was far too far away. Um, no, I think given that Kathleen Dawson slipped on the kind of blocks as she set up for the backstroke, it was good. She really recovered that pretty well. And then, as you can see from the splits there, PT was with a 56, James Guy with a 50 dead, which would have got him a medal in the individual, and yeah, Anna Hopkin with a 52, which was also would have got her a medal in the individual. It shows how quick they were going. As you can, yeah, so as you can see there, she did the fastest of the female freestyle legs. It was rapid. It was obviously it was a world record as well, which is even better.
Yeah, of course it is a new event, but even then, I suppose it's been around for a good
Yeah, I
five,
think
6 years now.
we set the first world record. I think back in what 2014, I want to say.
Oh yeah, that was at the Europeans. Um,
Yeah,
and then
it
yeah,
was.
I think we did we win a world title in it, or was that a world silver?
I feel like we did, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but either way, we won the first Olympic gold medal, which is great news. And what a
Yeah,
race it was.
it really was. It was a great race, and yeah, like you say, it was interesting to the way it works. And this is how like a medley relay or a mixed relay should be done. It's just nice to have all, like you say, the men going against the women. Like James Guy was just eating up the water, and yeah, it was such a good race. I'm happily watch that again and again. I think.
Yeah, it's like I think if athletics wanted to recreate something similar, maybe do a Swedish mixed Swedish relay, which would be 100, 200, 300
Yeah,
four. Although then again, convention there would be that you'd put the men on the 3 and the 4, and the women on the 1 and the 2.
yeah, you'd have to do like a hurdles sort of one. I don't know. How could they do it? Do a 400-meter hurdles on the first leg, and then what? Clear the barriers in time for the. Well, if you, I mean, to be fair, if you just clear the lane, first two lanes, maybe I don't know.
Well, that you could do. I think when they do in America, they do 400 hurdle relays, which are one lot will go one way around the track, and then the other lot will go the other way round. So they've got 4 teams that are able to compete.
Yeah, that might be worth exploring. Yeah, but that was obviously I agree that was one of the highlights of the whole Olympics. Um, and then just in the other finals, we had men's 100 fly, which Caleb Gressel won. Only just actually from Christoph Milak, very, very close. And then we had the women's 200 backstroke final, which was a win for McEwen. It's obviously McKeon and McEwen. It was Kaylee McEwen won it. And Kylie Mass was second. But Kylie Mass was leading it most of the way through. And she was a little bit peeved when she didn't win. So I think she thought she maybe had that one. And then Emily Seabom, I don't want to say veteran because she's probably younger than me, but veteran of the sport, getting up for the bronze, which is nice to see. And then the Ledecky Titmus rivalry resumed in the 8 with Ledecky winning it. Quite comfortably actually from Titmus, and Quadarella just won for the bronze. So it was nice to see her get a medal because she's had a good year as well. So I was very happy with all the medalists today.
Yeah, and with Ledecky there, she's done something which lots of athletes haven't quite managed to do, which is 3 consecutive gold medals. Which in that event, which so many athletes have tried so far at these Olympics, and it just hasn't seemed to pan out for them. So she seems to have broken that curse there.
Yeah, definitely. And just worth mentioning that Ben Proud is also into the 53 final, which will be in the last session tomorrow.
And I mean, we've been holding off talking about the athletics? Should we just jump to there now?
I think we should. I was going to say, I don't know what else we can say that's other than like we didn't win a medal in the rugby sevens, Alden came fourth. That's pretty much all I was going to say, really.
Yeah, well, that's 2 consecutive 4th places for Great Britain in the rugby sevens. Well, for the women's team, but then also the men got a 4th place there. So nearly, but not quite.
And it's been an eventful day in the athletics, isn't it? With especially from a British point of view, it didn't start so great with those 400-meter hurdles heats.
No, sort of with Megan Beasley, she's her final race, not getting through. But she was saying that she can now call herself an Olympian, and she's announced her retirement.
Yep.
And then as far as it's, Rijikova was looking very good there in that round. And then it was Jessie Knight who just slipped before she even got to the first hurdle, just completely
Yeah,
ending her race.
yeah, it was a real shame. Um, hope she's okay. We still might need it for the 4x4, but yeah, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe for the heats at least.
Yeah, I think some people were attributing that to it could be to do with the new shoes. Apparently, they're quite easy to roll
Yeah,
your foot on.
yeah, with the plate inside them, it can be a little bit, yeah,
But yes,
dodgy. But
Sydney McLaughlin was looking comfortable there. The fastest time of the 400 hurdles heats went to Dalilah Mohammed. But I mean, the thing that, and we did, and it was Jess Turner who did qualify to the next round for Great Britain, correct?
yes, but in a very slow time, and yeah, a bit disappointing really.
But then the woes for Britain sort of, well, very much carried on when we got to the in the evening session with the women's 100 meters semi-finals, and Dina, she didn't look anywhere near the sorts of times that we expect her at a championship. She's such a championship performer, and it was quite
Yes.
clear that something was amiss. She didn't get a time that was enough to get her into the final. And yet, she's been having a hamstring injury, it turns out, that since the British Championships.
Yeah, really sad. I mean, the interview on the BBC was very emotional, very incredible, but yeah, really tough to watch. But yeah, we didn't really, we knew she had this hamstring injury. That's why she pulled out a Gateshead, but we just thought it was like precautionary. But yeah, really sad that it was that bad that she almost needed surgery. And but she still ran 11:0, which when you think about it, is pretty good.
Yeah.
Given she only turned up on, she only put spikes on this week, so she's done very well to even make it onto the start line, really.
And yeah, hopefully she can have a decent recovery from that.
Yeah.
And I mean,
So
Paris
yeah,
is
she
only
has
3 years away.
exactly. That's kind of what she was saying. That's why her coach John Blackie was basically saying, let us it now. I think she's obviously pulled out the 200, but there's still hope that she can do the relay. I think that's not been written off. She's kind of said she still wants to do it. And obviously she's running 11:0, so it's not like she's really risking. She's not taking the place of someone who's running, you know, any quicker. So my hunch would be that they maybe keep the team as it always is and have Daryl on anchor because obviously she is running quick. So yeah, I think I'd like to see her in the relay on that second or third leg, probably the third, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the bend's going to be a bit too dodgy for a hamstring, but we'll see.
But yeah, Daryl Neater did make the final for Great Britain, so we did get our first Olympic finalist in the 100 metres since 2008.
Yes, and she got in by 1,000th of a second.
Wow.
Literally, the most stressful part of the day, I think, was just refreshing that page. Like, where's the results? Where's the results? Where's the results? And then she got in by 1,000th.
But it was, I mean, given that we were seeing 10.7s in the semi-finals, we were expecting something very fast in the final. And Elaine Thompson very much delivered with an Olympic record of 10.61, making her the second fastest woman in history, which is a title that's been bouncing about a bit this year.
It has, but yeah, well, you can tell there was the look of disappointment on Shelley's face was really plain to be seen. She obviously doesn't get on with Elaine,
Yeah.
and yeah, it was a very awkward finish to the race with Elaine on her own celebrating, and Shelley Ann and Sherry are just like, yeah, we got a silver and bronze.
Yeah, it wasn't the sort
Um,
of delight that you'd expect for a sweep of the medals from one country.
I think we kind of after the semis, it was kind of obvious it was going to be a Jamaican 1, 2, 3, and it was just whether who was going to win it, Elaine or Shelly Ann, really. And I kind of thought Shelly Ann had enough because she started well, but then when it got to and she was kind of leading about 40 meters when it got to that kind of drive through the dry phase, but then just the pickup, the lanes was just better. And when she's if you're comparing them in top flight, it's the lane that has the higher speed, isn't it?
Yeah. And what some wonderful technical analysis. That's a new part of our. We don't do that here.
Sorry.
No, don't apologise.
I mean, for those of you who've watched on the BBC, I thought, given that Colin Jackson's been there, I thought I'd give some some more insightful knowledge.
But yeah, I mean, we were sort of making predictions in a WhatsApp group before that race, and I said 10.60 for Elaine Thompson. So
Ooh.
when the clock stopped at 10.60, I was just thinking, oh, I've got some sort of power here. I need to I need to start placing some bets. But then it was rounded to 10.61, so I didn't feel quite as smug after that, but still, it was still an amazing time, and I wasn't far off.
And I was 10.62 with my guess, so again, wasn't far off. I guess if anyone in the chat wants to say their thoughts on the athletics today or any of the other Olympics, let us know what have been your highlights, shocks, upsets. There's been a lot today, so let us know what you've enjoyed.
And yeah, I mean, another fourth place for Tali there, but
Yeah, three in a row
but
at the Olympics.
such
And
a
then so the battle between the Swiss, I loved watching that. They were both in lane 8 and 9, and it was like, who's going to get it? Who's going to get the dip? And Del Pont just got it by 200. So really enjoyed watching that little battle.
yeah, and then Tiana Daniels, she was almost like the forgotten American there. It seems even Michael Johnson forgot that she was in that final.
That's exactly what he did. Yeah.
Um, I suppose yeah, the Americans were looking out for Javianne Oliver, and when it wasn't to be for her, it was oh well, it's over for us.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't think they were expecting a medal without Richardson here. But then even with Richardson here, I think silver would have been the best she could have got.
Yeah, these times are absolutely insane. I think she, yeah, I don't think there was anything beating what Thompson did, but there was perhaps
No,
room to beat either Sharika or Shalian.
and
But
I
it's
think
interesting.
I was going to say I think had Dina been in the final in her the form that she was showing back in June before the trials, I think she'd have been fourth with a 10-7-8-9 ish. That would have been my prediction,
Hmm,
but we'll never know.
we'll never know. But it's interesting to think what this does mean for the 200 meters because all the Jamaican women are doubling up, and we were sort of saying before that they'd been setting some really fast times out in Jamaica, and we weren't entirely sure of these times, but maybe we should start taking them a bit more seriously now if this is what they're capable of in the Olympic final.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Shellyanne withdrew from the two, but maybe I don't know, maybe not. Who knows? I'm just guessing. uh, I think Sherika Jackson might be the favourite for the two now, given her closing feed because she nearly got Shellyanne there at the end, and
Yeah, I did put
but,
Sharika
but then
down
obviously a late yeah.
on my AtStat predictions as the champion.
I still went Sean A, but again that's still two TBC with her as well. So yeah, I think it'll be between those three probably now, uh, Sean A and Thompson and Jackson.
Yeah, it does feel like it's just such a huge loss for the competition that we won't have Dina there, especially in the 200 where she is world champion.
Yeah, Dina in full form would have been a beautiful thing. I think she'd have run 21-7. So if that's enough for a medal, then great. But if it if the goal if it was 21-6 that they win it in, then fair enough. She probably wouldn't have won it.
And then to add to the joys of mixed relay final day, we got um, after all the drama that's been happening with this, with disqualifications and reinstatements, but it wasn't. It seemed to be that the USA were going to be the favourites, and yet they were
Mm.
beaten not by one country but by two.
This was a great race, actually, better than expected. I mean, the Brits could have changed things up, which didn't really work. We were actually 10 slower than we were in the heats, but I don't think it would have mattered. It was always going to be those four teams that kind of were going to be in the mix. And when you think Femke Bol was who was running the hurdles today, she put herself on the line here and ran a great split, but didn't work out. Didn't get a medal, which is a real shame. So happy for Poland. They deserved it. I think they've always had a good relay team, men's and women's, historically. Women's more so in the recent years. So really pleased to see them get a medal. I mean, well, when they got, I mean, Justina Svietti is now an Olympic champion, which is
Yeah,
amazing. And then the Dominican Republic. I mean, they look great in the heats. Obviously, them and the Americans were disqualified. So, you know, if they had not been reinstated, then yeah, maybe Britain would have got a medal. Who knows? But
yeah,
yeah, it's just great to see them because that team is going to be people who probably will never win an Olympic medal individually,
Well,
aside from maybe Paulino, who's
I
going
was
to
going to
be
say, you say that
a threat.
Paulina she's been in great form this year, and I think that she is, she was the absolute sort of linchpin of that team,
Yeah,
to get them into to a position where they were fighting for a medal.
I think she could win the 400. Actually, I think she's probably my favourite. If depending on what Shawnee's doing,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd say it's likely to be her versus Shawnee, and then maybe one of the Jamaican
yeah. I think
competitors as
I
well.
think I've got McPherson nailed on for a bronze, regardless of what else anything else happens. I think in my outstand, that was the first thing I did. I went bronze, Stephanie McPherson. I think actually that was my top three. I think I did do Shawnee, Paulino, and McPherson. That was my top three in
Had
my outstat.
I didn't put Paulino in there, but if I could go back and change it, I definitely would now.
But yeah, really good race, really close race, and USA just kind of came through-ish, I guess, for bronze. It was a bit weird; they weren't really ever in it. It didn't
Yeah,
seem.
and
Um,
then well, gold for
Discus,
the Swedish Viking, as he
yes,
told the cameras many, many times.
Swedish one too as well. We said, well, we've been saying that the Swedes are normally more famous in the kind of you know jumps and stuff from the noughties, like the high jump, long jump, triple jump, but now the throws is where they're at, and yeah,
Yeah,
massive win.
and it was good fun to see them doing their lap of honour with Dancing Queen blaring on the stadium speakers.
Yeah, really, really nice to see. I mean, and that not only is that Sweden's first medals of the athletics, it's their first medals of the whole Olympics, which I didn't realise. I mean, I guess Sarah Sjöström's not won any medals in the pool, although she might in the 50 tomorrow, so we'll see. But yeah, Sweden probably would have expected a medal by now.
Yeah, so of course they do. They're the sort of country that tends to walk away from a Summer Olympics with no only a handful of medals. But yeah, you would have thought that they would have got well. Normally the Sjöströms won a couple for them by this point anyway.
Exactly. Just want to mention, obviously, Vice Harding got the bronze, but Matt Denny of Australia, PB, just 5 centimeters off the bronze. That's really mixed feelings, that isn't it? When you do your best ever throw, but it's just like that close to a medal.
Yeah, 5 centimeters. That's and I mean, given the way that Christian Che, it looked like that they one of his throws was measured at a completely different spot. You do just think, oh, is that just bad luck of the exact spot that they chose to place the measuring
Yeah,
implement in? But yeah,
yeah,
Che just couldn't quite get up there. Which I think I had him down as the silver medalist
yeah. So
um,
did I.
going into this. I had Vice Heidinger as bronze and Stahl as
Yeah,
gold.
me too.
So yeah, a bit disappointing for him. Not to be for Clark Kent today.
No, I guess we should probably go on to the British highlight of the day of the track and field, which was the semi-finals of the women's 800 meters,
Yes.
which absolutely made my day. Literally, it was just so good
Yeah,
to
we were
have
by this point we were
all.
down in the dumps.
Yeah,
Dina
literally,
said
it was the best. It was the best timing for it to happen.
yeah, started off with Gemma Riki very much keeping pace with Natoya Gul, which was a promising sign to begin with that she was able to keep pace with this woman who's been looking very strong throughout the
Well,
rounds here in
I was,
Tokyo.
I was so I did. I thought she ran a, not a bad race, but I was worried a lot because I didn't think because they went through so slowly, and they were practically walking, and I was like, oh god, there's gonna be no fastest losers. She has to be top two. There's a lot of Josvik Wilson. They're quite good kickers, and I was really worried. Obviously, Nakai world champion as well. And I was like, oh no, she's gonna mess it up. But they just wound it up, and they just kind of kept their position, School and Riki at the front, and she had enough. We obviously know how good her last 200-300 is, so she had a good kick and yeah, was able to get that second spot. And then somehow it was under 2 minutes. Still don't know how they did that.
No,
Massive negative splits.
but then in that heat we lost world champion Nakai, who just well considerably adrift from the rest of the field. Hedda Heine out as well, and Joanna Josvik, Ashley Wilson. So a good few names who just won't be in the final
Yeah.
from Heat 1, or semi final 1 rather.
And
But
then, yeah. The next semi was obviously Alex Bell was in this one. She was a late replacement for Laura Muir and the team. And I think when I saw she was in the one with Atsing Mo, I was like, this is good for her because Alex is better, I think, in a fast paced race. I think she suits that better than maybe more of the canny tactical one because I don't think she has quite the kick that Hodgkinson and Riki have. So for her, this was perfect. And as you can see, didn't get auto cue, but when you're running 158, that's going to be a fastest loser spot.
Yeah, I was just amazed to watch that race because it was, I mean, predictably Mo and Alemu at first and second throughout, but to see that it was Bell was comfortably the third place one for pretty much the entire 2 laps. It
Yeah,
was a very strong performance from her. I
yeah.
would say Mo still looks to be in gold medal
Oh
form.
yeah, yeah, for sure. She looks untouchable, I think. But I just want to say, yeah, Alex, I thought ran a really good race. Like, I watched her all the way around. She kind of the way she got out, and then she kind of tucked in, and then stopped Eurego coming past her, and then she stopped Lamont coming outside her. It was like she was just maintaining that position, which was exactly what she needed to do, and it really paid off. And I was really pleased that she was in the quickest semi, and that was enough to get her through as the fastest loser of the 2 fastest losers.
And then semi final 3, I think this was my favourite performance of the 800s. I mean, we know that Keely Hodgkinson is such a good tactical racer, but she was probably sixth with about 50
Yes.
metres to go and managed to make her way into into first rather, sorry, which, uh, I mean, if it does come down to something that's a bit more tactical, we know that she's got that sprint finish and she's got that great racing brain on her when it comes to the final.
Yeah, this was incredible. I thought. You got to say, and I wasn't nervous even when she was in sixth. I just thought, oh, maybe she's running a little bit too wide than she needs to be. But she was trying to she was following Raven Rogers. She knows how good her kick is. But then Kira's thinking, well, I've probably maybe got a better kick than you now. So yeah, I wasn't worried. I mean, I knew our Manta was going to mess it up. I thought she, yeah, I just thought she would. Winnie Nanyondo was always going to be in the mix, but yeah, it was the Chinese athlete Wang who was the surprise. Really, I was like, I just assumed she was like making an honest pace, and then she'd just die and everyone would overtake her. But no, she hung on for that second. Keely only just got over the line, and then Rogers actually will be the second fastest loser with that time. So she'll be a threat in the final if it's a slower one or with her sprint finish.
And then, yeah, Nanyondo and Arafi also not making it there, so a good few casualties to Hodgkinson's tactical prowess there.
Yes, I mean, 3 Brits in the final. Let's just enjoy that.
Yeah, has that ever? That's never happened before in the women's 800,
No,
has it?
no, it's not, and that's exact. And obviously, the commentary team were like, oh, "Well, it's Anne Packer won in Tokyo." It's like let's go, yeah, let's go back to the last, yeah, when Anne Packer won it in Tokyo, and just because we're in Tokyo, but yeah, what a final!
Yeah, I mean, this as proud as I am of the British women here, I am very worried that they could easily all be off the podium here because I could easily see it being, Mo, Gul, and Alemu taking home the medals.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with my answer, which I think was what I did Mo Hodgkinson as the gold and silver, and I can't remember if I put Riki or Rogers for bronze. I can't remember, but yeah, I think we have to. Yeah, I think it's between the two 19-year-olds. Is my prediction. I think Gul's having a very good season, and she has been more consistent than usual. But she is someone a bit like a Nigel Amos who just kind of can mess it up and can run through treacle in the last 100. Um, so yeah, I think the lane move, like you say, may be one of the dark horses that we need to worry about. And obviously, if Rogers is within touch in this finish, she can come through as well. So yeah, it's looking good for the Brits though. I think.
Yeah, and I mean, with you look at this field, it's got to be a fast race. If it's not a fast race, it'd be such a
Yeah,
waste of.
yeah, agreed.
And I think a good few people would be, if they don't take out the pace, a good few of them would be just throwing away a medal because that is how they would race well.
Although I think part of me thinks Keely might prefer a slightly slower one, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'd
Maybe
say
not.
she's probably the most tactical racer of this field.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's yeah, I agree. I think that's fair. But yeah, that was definitely the highlight of the athletics today from a British point of view.
Yeah, we had. I suppose we also had the men's 100 meters heats, which we can have a bit of a look through.
Yeah, I felt like this was a bit wasted in the evening session, to be honest. I didn't feel like we had the excitement of everything. It was like, oh, we've got like loads of men's 100-meter heats, and it's not that exciting. Should have
But
been in
yeah,
more of a
Ronnie
session.
Baker through. He's on my fantasy Tokyo Lucky Dip team,
Woo!
so he knows the importance of being on the team. Jimmy Vico through as well from the first one, and no
Um,
Taekwondo Tracy.
no. Yeah, it's hard. It was hard to read who's looking good actually. I mean, I guess Jacobs, the Italian, was looking pretty good. Brumel
Yeah,
only got through as the fastest loser. He didn't look so good. All the Brits made it, we should probably say.
yeah. I should just go to the summary.
And but Baker did look good actually. I thought he's my tip actually. I think he was my at pick for the gold.
And then, to be honest, I sort of missed that actually. DeGrasse ran that quickly in the 9.91. I think I was occupied by other things at this point.
Yeah, I
Uh,
didn't put DeGrasse in. I think I put him in for a medal in the two, but I didn't think he'd be this quick over the one. So, but then he always turns up at the champs and does well.
yeah, and it's good to see that Rowan Browning, who I mean, he was having a
Mm.
fantastic season during the Australian summer. He was setting personal best after personal best, and he's done it again in the heats of the Olympic Games. So it looks like he could be going sub 10.
Yeah, yeah. I hope he does. He was so impressive. I would love to see him go sub 10. He was great, and he was in like lane one as well. He was kind of out of the way, and yeah, I mean you can look at the times here, just how close it is. Look at the between 10:01 and 10:10 is like what fifth to 18th. So the semis are going to be brutal.
Yeah, it's did that's it's a bit of a shame to see that Yamagata didn't make it through for Japan. I thought he was in pretty decent form this year. I'd actually in my YouTube video I'd said that he was a potential finalist, so I'm a bit disappointed that he's made me a liar.
Oh dear. Never mind.
But I suppose that it's the hurdles that Japan will really be looking to for medals in the athletics as well as the race
Yeah.
walks.
Yes, and probably the marathons as well.
Yeah, because I'm so clueless about the race walks. I was pretty much just like Japanese, Japanese, Japanese.
Yeah, I gave them loads of medals in the race walks.
Yeah, I put a few
um,
Chinese medals in there.
um, yeah, I guess we should probably mention Harry Koppel made the pole vault final.
Yes, it was a bit. Well, he was looking very good. Um, the first few heights, he was sort of clearing them a lot easier than some of the much bigger names. But then it was a bit nervy in the end to see if he would actually make the cut for the final.
Yeah, because it was waiting on other people to knock him out, basically. Because him and a couple of others were tied in that last qualifying spot, as in there were obviously 12 go through, and they were all joint 11th, and then I think it was Lisek who maybe got was it Lisek someone. Oh, no, it was Jobina, the Philippines athlete, who got
Yeah, it was yeah
above them, and then they were down to Ben Broders, the Belgian. If he cleared 575, then they would have all gone out. Those are the Koppel and Samsa and Zurinkel, whatever his name is. But yeah, they're going to be 14 in the final. So yeah, good stuff.
yeah. I mean, I would have thought that Obieno would have been able to make the final a bit more easily than he did. But then again, it's
But then Mondo and Renault also, you
yeah,
thought, and Lisek, they all had terrible cards today. Yeah, yeah. To be honest, it was what's his name, Burkanda Lita, the German. He had a great qualifying, um, and Chris Nielsen. I think they were pretty much clear all the way through, and then the rest were having a bit of a mare really. I was really pleased to see Curtis Marshall in there, Thiago Braz defending champion, and Corrales as well. The Greek, really pleased to see him make the final. You feel like him and Marshall have been kind of forgotten about a little bit. I guess because we haven't seen them on the circuit as much. But
yeah,
I guess the big exits were what Valentino Navillini and maybe Broders and Ludwig.
yeah. I'd say sort of yeah, that like reasonably big names. Of course, it's. I think we've got most of the big names who are left though. So it's not like massive shocks there.
No, but I mean, I wouldn't have put like the Turkish guy in over say Wojciechowski or
No,
Valentino Navillini. It's been interesting.
but I mean, we were talking about on the World Athletics stream we were doing earlier about athletes wearing glasses, and He's a step further. He's got his weird goggles.
Yes. But yeah, that was good to see. And I guess in the earlier heats as well, we had what else do we have today? Women's discus qualifying. I think everyone except Caballero was within the upset. She didn't make it, but Perkovic was in there. Arman was in there. Perez was in there. They're the three medalists, aren't they? I think Robert Michon of France missed out, and so did Van Klinken. She missed out as well.
Yeah. But it was Kamalpreet Kaur of India who actually had the second best throw of the morning
Yeah,
in the women's discus. I still don't think she'd necessarily be a medalist, but when I see success for India, I'm always like, oh, I do want to support them because it is such this huge area of the world that athletics hasn't really managed to gain much traction in yet, and
yeah, definitely.
Olympic medals in that would really help.
Yeah, no, it was. Yeah, I agree. I think it'd be nice to see her get a medal, but I think it will be too much to ask.
Yeah.
Um, and what else did we have
Well,
today?
we
We had
had
the
women's 100 hurdles qualifying, which Jasmine Camacho Quinn looked absolutely supreme in. Um,
yes,
she was sort of close to the times that she's been running consistently all season. She was 12:41, and everybody else, well, at least a tenth slower.
yeah, she's looking the favourite for the gold. I mean, obviously the Jamaican ran pretty well. I love the Costa Rican as well. It'd be nice to see her in the final. Um, and obviously Kenny Harrison was in there. Our favourite Little Miss Continence was running pretty well. A
And
little bit disappointed from the Brits, I thought.
yeah, Cindy Samba in particular, I thought, I she's the one who I thought has the better chance of getting a medal, and she um, was one of the slower ones, not even breaking 13 seconds there.
Yeah, you kind of have to be 13 under 13 to guarantee your spot, so she needs to improve on that.
And, yeah.
Men's 800 heats are also happening this morning. Uh, Oliver Dustin went out, but Giles and Rowden are through, which is well, they ran okay. That's again, it's an event that's wide open.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's very similar to the women's 800 in that it is wide open, but this one feels just like it's not necessarily on that fast time. It's just there's no name that really jumps out here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, well, I've tipped Korea to win it, but they were all pretty solid today. No one, again, it didn't seem like there were any upsets. Ambrose Boss squeezed in by a hundredth of a second as the fastest, the slowest of the fastest losers. But yeah, pretty much everyone made it through.
Although he wasn't the slowest qualifier, that was actually Patrick Dobek um, with his auto
Yeah,
cue from the
the
uh,
slower, the slower heat basically.
yeah. But well, because yeah, I mean, he's pretty new to. Well, I say new to the 800. He was a 400 hurdler who's just sort of been sticking with it after his success over the 400 hurdles. So
Yeah,
at the indoor seasons, his European indoor title there in the 800.
but yeah, that's good to see Grounded and Giles through safely.
Yeah. So what other highlights of the day from other sports do you want to review?
What have we had today? Boxing seems to have gone pretty well, hasn't it? I think we've got a few more medals
Yeah.
confirmed. I think
So
it's hard to keep track.
it is, yeah. But yeah, Lauren Price winning her quarter final, getting her at least a bronze medal. Um, and then Luke McCormack, so he's out there, and then losing a semi final, so it's a bronze for Arting Seoul
Yes,
in there, but it's still a bronze. And the joy of boxing is that for some reason you don't have to fight for your bronze medal.
I think more because they've had enough fights and it's quite knackering, and
Yeah.
you don't need to have any more blows to the head. I don't think if you can help it.
Look at you with
Yeah,
your
we.
duty of care.
I know. I think the British women, did they win the hockey against Ireland? I think they did.
They did 2-0. I don't know what that means for the standings, but let's get them up. So Pool A, so groups. So I'm not even sure. Let's get the bracket up rather than. So yeah, that sees us through to the next round against Spain. So that might be a bit easier than some of the matches we've had at the group stage.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, I don't know much about hockey, but Spain don't strike me as a a hockey nation that I'm that familiar with.
Yeah, this is one of those sports where it's much like when I watch football. It's like you do it by your perception of the team rather than the form that you actually know that they're in.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And then the men, what's the men's draw? Because I think are we did we play against them? We played Belgium today. Oh, I
I'm
think.
not. That might have been yesterday. I'm not
Or
seeing it
was it
on there.
yesterday? That was
Um,
yesterday.
let's see. Let's go men.
I couldn't. Yeah, I can't remember what was played when and who. And
The days
it's
just
very
blur
hard to
into
keep
one
up.
when you're not keeping to daylight hours in your own country. Um,
Not at all.
but yeah, India, Great Britain will be tomorrow at 9 p.m. Tokyo time. So that'll be during the athletic session. So we probably won't watch that, but we come on Great Britain anyway.
Yes. And then we should probably mention we got a medal in the sailing today.
Oh, of course, in the windsurfing.
A bronze medal. We knew it was guaranteed pretty much, so nice to see it actually come through.
Yeah, and um, I think we're also, from what I understand, things are looking good in the sailing. Um, honestly, if I went into the results pages, I don't think I'd understand
Yeah.
it. So let's not bother.
No, we'll just say we're doing well.
Yeah.
How we're doing in the equestrian?
Oh well, the team I believe are in first after the dressage stage. They no longer call it the 3 day eventing because it takes 4 days nowadays to do. Uh, but if I'm not mistaken, the team are sitting in first, not a massive lead, but a workable lead. And Oliver Townend is second behind Michael Young. Michael Young being an absolute legend of eventing, but at the same time, Oliver Townend has been such a strong competitor for years and is very much capable of beating Michael Young. So I'm. Oh, it's been so long since I've seen a cross country portion of
Yeah,
an eventing, so I look forward to that tomorrow.
should be good. Um, I'll just talk about the tennis for a bit, just because the women's final is on right now,
Oh,
and Belinda Bencic is serving for the match at 5-3 in the third set. It's been, to be fair, the tennis has been incredible today. It's been a tournament that's been relatively straightforward in a way. There weren't many epic matches, but today was delivering all the epic matches because the first match on was the men's bronze medal match. Pablo Carreño Busta upsetting Djokovic in a nearly 3 hour match. It was an epic. I don't know how he won it really. It was he won the first set 6-4 and then lost the second set of the tiebreak. He had a match point in that tiebreak, so it looked like it was going to be straightforward win. And then he had to come back, pick himself up, and then won the third set 6-3. And then Djokovic kind of controversially withdrew from his bronze match,
oh.
citing a shoulder injury in the mixed doubles. So I feel sorry for his partner Stojanovic, who just didn't even get a chance to fight for a bronze. But it does mean that Ash Barty and John Peers are guaranteed that bronze.
That's also
And
not
the
the way that
women
you'd want to win a bronze medal, sort of.
not playing basically.
Yeah, and you don't get that sort
um,
of that brilliant moment of joy when you score that match point or whatever it is.
and then the Brazilians upset the Russians, big upset in the women's doubles bronze match. They were not fancied. I mean, Vesnina's made finals this year, and she's a defending champion actually in the women's doubles. With Makarova from Rio, but it was Kudermetova. She was playing with here, and the Russians did actually have 3 match points in that tiebreak, the match tiebreak, and then the Brazilians won it. So nice surprise there. And then again, the women's bronze medal match in the singles. Again, it was almost I think it was 2.5 hour match. Rybakina won the first set 6-1, but Svitolina came back, won the second in a tiebreak, and won the third 6-4. She was very emotional to finally win that medal. So she probably was, when it came down to the last four, she was probably the favourite to win the gold, and obviously didn't happen, but at least she fought back for the bronze. And yeah, as we're at the final now, it's Deuce. Bencic is 2 points away. This has been a yo-yo match as well. I think Bencic won the first set, quite close first set. Vondrousova was cruised the second set quite easily, and they've both been a break up in this set. Vondrousova was 2 love up. Bencic took it all the way to kind of 4-2, and now it's kind of but I went back on serve to like 3-all, and now it's 5-3. So she's 2 points away.
Just sort of
So
looking at the bronze medal match, it sort of makes me happy that it's an Alina and an Elena of Kazakhstan and Ukraine, given that we already struggle to tell the Olgas apart in the triple jump.
Yeah, I know. It's very similar, isn't it? Okay, it has gone to match point now. So Bencic, this is her first gold medal point. We'll just see if she does it.
Yeah, let's get the live commentary from Christopher Sporcher.
Yeah, gold medal point for the 9th seed from Switzerland, winning the gold that Federer's never won. And Vondrousova's hitting. Vondrousova just had a great return, and Bencic couldn't really do much about it. So we're back to juice. But I might as well update you on the golf now that's going on, because we have the American Xander Schauffele still winning. Matsuyama of Japan in second, and now Paul Casey of Britain has moved into third.
Ooh.
With Ortiz of Mexico. They're tied for third, so McIlroy is only 1 shot behind them, so it's very close. And Tommy Fleetwood's joined the top 10 as well with Shane Lowry. So the last day of the golf is tomorrow, so the medals will be decided. But 2 Brits are in the hunt. Casey looking more likely than Fleetwood, but it could be some more GB medals there.
Oh, well, I look forward to, I really hope that we can get both a Brit and McIlroy on the podium.
And Matsuyama. I want to see a Japan.
Yeah, that's the ideal podium. Given that, with my family, my uncle used to be a teacher in Hollywood, Northern Ireland, which is the town where Rory McIlroy is from. And it is just funny how everybody there tries to tell you their connection to Rory McIlroy. I served him at the shop when I was 16 doing my weekend job.
Do you have a connection to him or not?
Well, my uncle said that, not me personally, but my uncle, I think, taught one of his ex-girlfriends at the school. Sorry to say, it's not the tennis player.
No. Well, not Wozniacki.
Yeah. I remember when he was dating Wozniacki, they were like, he made such a mistake breaking up with the girl from here. She was so lovely.
That's so funny.
It's just such a thing from that part of the world. I did just want to look at the shooting, because not only did San Marino win their first Olympic medal in history the other day, they backed it up with a medal in the team event today, which was just wonderful to see. It was a bit disappointing that in the final they couldn't get there. It was a real back and forth final. The women's the woman for Spain, she missed her first 3 shots. It was looking really quite bad for them. And Alessandra Perilli, who was the woman who already won a medal for San Marino, she had an absolute wonderful round, only missing 2. Yeah. But her partner wasn't quite as strong as her, unfortunately.
Right, so we're on the second gold medal point in the tennis now. Bencic, she saved a break point a minute ago, and now she's back on match point. So let's see if she can do it. Serves down to T, and it's long. Yep, she's won.
Hey.
She's collapsed to the ground. She's crying. She's rolling around, crying on the floor. Now she's celebrating. She's got the doubles final tomorrow as well, so she could do the double here. But she's very happy. This is a big deal for her, given that Federer has never won the gold. She's been into it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's won the doubles gold, so she can maybe back that up. Nice hug there between the 2 of them. Vondrousova was very, very happy with her silver as well. So even though she probably would have thought maybe she could have won that, but gold for Switzerland in the tennis. And could they top the tennis, the medals table in the tennis?
Do you think that Federer will be able to hold on for another 3 years to maybe give a Paris gold a try?
I think if it wasn't on clay, he probably would. But no, I think when he didn't play here, I don't think we'll see him there. It'd be nice if we did, but I don't think so. He tried to play here, but it was just too much. His best chances were probably Athens and Beijing, really. Obviously, Andy ruined it in London for him. But he got a silver in the individual. Bencic has got the gold, and So yeah, she'll be going for the doubles gold tomorrow.
Well, that is the thing that I do love, that Olympic tennis is clearly just such a different beast to to Grand Slam tennis,
Yeah,
and
definitely.
because you get an Olympics once every 4 years, whereas you get four Grand Slams in a single year. You sort of do get, like, say Andy Murray, he's got two Olympic golds, and that's something that uh, well, most of the other men in the men's side, they don't have a single gold. I'd say Nadal's the only sort of
Yeah,
big hitter who does have an Olympic gold.
yeah, I know it's crazy, and yeah, that's why Andy deserves a lot more respect and credit for his achievements, I think.
Yeah. So,
Cool.
to be honest, I think his Olympic golds are arguably more impressive than some of his Grand
Yeah,
Slam wins.
especially his second one. That was a real dogfight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of it for today. Should be
Yeah.
another good day tomorrow.
We've got a lot.
Obviously, the men's 100 metres final in the athletics, women's triple jump, men's high jump, and women's shot finals. And uh, BMX freestyle finishes tomorrow, golf finishes tomorrow. Gymnastics, we've got men's floor, women's vault, men's pommel, women's bars. No Simone Biles in any of those. She's withdrawn from those events. And the finish of the sailing, laser, and radial. And the last swimming sessions, and obviously the tennis, men's singles, and the women's and mixed doubles. So lots to watch again tomorrow.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been great fun talking about this crazy day of Olympic action with so many big headlines.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you all tomorrow.
Yes, thanks for watching.
Yeah. Bye.